What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Joe Shake72 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over another day of training camp, a few days away before the preseason opener. And I cannot wait until Thursday and going to be literally salivating with my eyes connected to the TV, looking at every individual from the preseason game and seeing who is going to shine on the first day and make an attempt to do good things. I want to go over Carson Wentz. I want to go over these reporters today. Apparently, the practices were very boring today because a lot of guys weren't on the field today. Marcus Wheaton, Zach Ertz, Nick Foles. A lot of guys, Alshon Jeffrey, Mike Wallace wasn't in either. He had some tendonitis today, but he'll be fine. Richard Rodgers wasn't in. A lot of guys were missing today. So the defense really didn't have much to practice against today. So I'm just going to kind of go over a few things. Carson Wentz has another light day today. So he hasn't done 11 on 11s in a while. So it's been a few days, been a good amount of time. So he's been just doing the 7 on 7s. Another light day today for Carson Wentz. I don't know what they're doing, if they're going to wait later during the week or whatnot. But Carson Wentz has got to put in some time here. I know they're being careful, they're being cautious, and they're probably doing the right thing with him. And I expect him probably not to play. From their eyes, I expect him not to play during preseason. He's going to stay back and do what he's got to do. So I'm happy what I'm seeing with all that. But it's been very light for Carson Wentz and for a while now. So they're being extra carefully cautious. And we really can't blame them for doing that at all. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I expect with this preseason game coming the next few days, I don't expect these guys to go hard the next few days. I mean, that's just me. So we'll see what happens with that. Devontae Bosby started today in the nickel corner spot. Now that is about 4 starts for Devontae Bosby in the nickel corner spot in training camp. And Sidney Jones is one up on Devontae Bosby with 5 starts at the nickel corner spot. So now it's pretty damn close to who's starting where. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Like I said, it's like a broken record every day when we talk about this together. When you guys hear me out, I say the same thing every week, every day. Don't know what's going to happen with this corner spot. For my opinion, I think Darby and Mills will start on the outside. From how this looks right now, that's what I think is going to happen. Sidney Jones being in the nickel, but man, to let Bosby sit, I don't know, man. There could be a trade. I don't know. We could be a trade. Something in the mix. So we'll see what happens by that time. And this corner spot's so exciting, guys. Very exciting. So Kamar Aiken got some first licks today, being the outside receiver and doing his thing with Mike Wallace, Alshon Jeffrey on the PUP list. So there's not really that much wide receivers that actually practiced today. But Kamar Aiken took advantage today, had a nice over-shoulder catch in the end zone for a touchdown today by, I think, Joe Callahan threw him the ball. Nice over-the-shoulder catch. Kamar Aiken's been actually doing really well. Whenever he gets his chances, he actually does really well. But I still think Marcus Wheaton is in front of him. You know, there's so much to this wide receiver core. We're so deep, and that's why it's so great. But Kamar Aiken is giving his best shot, and I can't wait to see him in preseason too, because I want to see what he's got. See what he's, you know, I know I didn't really watch him on the Colts at all, but I've watched him on the Ravens. And, you know, I've liked what I've seen from him when he was on the Ravens, but has had really 4 really down years. I think 2015 was his best year, almost a 1,000-yard season. He had like 940-something, but that was it's been a while since then, so a few years. So he's just been declining. The seasons have been getting worse since 2015. So hopefully he could change and turn it around. Can't wait to see him be catching balls at preseason. So we'll see about that. Dallas Goedert still being unstoppable in the red zone. Unstoppable, meaning he's impossible to take down. He's impossible to grab onto it. He has such a big body. It's like even if you put a hand on him, it doesn't faze him at all. So from what I heard today, Dallas Goedert is just unstoppable in the red zone. And how much attention is he going to get once we get to the red zone? If they do a 2 tight end, just imagine a 2 tight end set with Zach Ertz, which Zach Ertz is very good in the red zone as well. Alshon Jeffrey with the height, the big long arms, catching those 50-50 balls. Nelson Aguilar as quick as he is. Mike Wallace as quick as he is. So was Carson Wentz extending the field and all over the place. So it's a great marriage between these guys, these receivers and this quarterback. So especially for the red zone, and Dallas Goedert is going to be an added piece. That's going to be absolutely amazing. And God, I want to see him in preseason, and I can't wait to see Thursday. Nate Gary had a nice pass breakup on Dallas Goedert today. Actually, he went across the field and shadowed Dallas Goedert very well, slapped the ball out, and has been doing pretty good. So practicing against Goedert, big tight end like Dallas Goedert is great. We already seen that Nate Gary's had his best camp this year. So the linebacker spot between him and Camus and all the rest of the guys, it's only going to get more exciting down the road. When we get through this preseason, and then we see by September when the cuts arrive. We will see what happens. So I'm pretty excited to see what this linebacker core as a whole, even without Nigel Brown for the first game. I kind of want to see them without Hicks and Bradham. I want to see who really stands out. Really, I don't want any help from any other guys. I just want somebody to step up and be a badass on the field. That's all I care about. Having talked about this young cat, and Jake Elliott, our kicker, has made almost every kick he's pretty much kicked. From 45 yards, he was practicing 55 yards. Actually, a whole day of training camp, he practiced 50 to 55 yard kicks. Now, I know we had Caleb Sturgis for a long time. We thought he was the guy. Then he started being inconsistent. Then having Jake Elliott come in, a practice squad player from, I think, the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken, and just tearing it up this year. I understand. He missed a few that were like, what the hell? Like, you missed from 25, but you missed from 35, but you miss, you know what I mean? And you can't make something that's really short. So he's had some good moments, had some bad moments, mostly good moments. And we all know that one moment from week 3 from the Giant game, opening day. I was at that game. Everybody was, and became the hero and became someone that is always going to be remembered in Philadelphia. And that is Jake Elliott. Can't wait to see him kick. And do a lot more things. I hope he just kicks a lot better this year, because having a kicker is so important, guys. It might be a small position, but to get those extra 3 points is huge. And if Jake Elliott can do that this season, we'll be on our way to another bowl. Last but not least, I want to talk about Jim Schwartz. Spoke to the media today, talked about Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills, about them two guys, and they were asking him questions about how are they playing. What's motivating them this year? What's the difference between last year and this year? So Jim Schwartz pretty much said Ronald Darby was hurt. And just to kind of sum it up for you guys, he didn't really know the scheme too well because he was so brand new to this team. And then getting hurt didn't really help him on his way to achieving, knowing this defense like A+ grade. But he came back, says he's been working so hard, has had substantially very good, consistent coverage. And I really said, when we brought him here, the 4.3 speed, Ronald Darby has that 4.3 speed, and I used to say, what kind of speed does he have? He can't, every time I see him cover somebody, he's got really bad reacting time to the receiver when he's making a break off a route or something like that. And I always got confused about that. So, between Ronald Darby, now you got Jalen Mills, and Jim Schwartz loves Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills, 7th round pick. Okay, he's played safety, he's played corner at LSU. But most of all, from his rookie year to now is a huge difference. He has stepped up. He is a corner that he never puts his head down he gives up a huge pass or something. You see that kid with his head held high, and he's still talking that shit. Doesn't matter. These NFL teams have to give these corners respect, especially in Darby, and not even Darby, but I'd give Mills more because he played the whole year. Just like the 49ers game, I understand it's the 49ers, but look, he got a pick 6 during the 49ers game, and one of his big draft, downgrades from the draft was he gives up on, when he gets an interception during a game, he normally just goes out of bounds, and he just remembered that and scored a pick six like it was nothing. The guy's got a lot of swagger. The guy's got, I've seen the behind the scenes in the tunnel. You ever see that video behind the scenes in the tunnel when he's literally yelling at the whole with all the cornerbacks?
I know what we're playing for today. It's all the fucking nothing. But one thing is down for sure. Disrespect will not be tolerated in this fucking group. Disrespect will not be tolerated in this fucking team, dog. But that shit I wasn't over there. Disrespect with me. I can't feel that shit, no. I can't feel that shit. Get your ass in here. Let's go. Get your ass in here. Let's go. Let's go. Stop fucking fucking let us up, man. This shit is so nice.
And he's going crazy that the team is not going to get disrespected. I mean, he's probably said it 6 times, and that really fired me up. If I saw it before the game, I would be like, wow, this is awesome. But that was a very cool moment from Jalen Mills, I have to say, and a lot of other times too. I'm glad Jalen Mills is with us, and hopefully, you know, maybe he will get paid another year. Maybe we can afford him. Maybe he's not a shutdown corner, which helps, but he might not be expensive in the long run. So to make this all this pretty much short, both of them consistent coverage, have worked the hardest out of all the corners. And not saying that other guys don't work hard, but they've worked very laser focused hard. And they're not going to stop until they have a lot to fight for, guys. You understand? Like, Ronald Darby's on a contract year. Guy's got to make something. He's playing for his money next year, which we're probably not going to do. He's playing for his money. Jalen Mills got a whole nother year till he gets paid. I mean, there is so much that I'm glad that, you know, Darby's not, you know, I'm telling you, that injury that Darby had could have been the reason why he was kind of not him, because you fractured your ankle or whatever he did, you know, you come back and, you know, you're back in it and you're doing your thing. And the coaches had a lot of praise for him, especially the play, you know, through the playoffs in the Super Bowl. And Jalen Mills has just not stopped. He's always been, you know, he's getting better being consistent on the field, but if Jim Schwartz is very bold in his press conferences. You know Jim Schwartz, he doesn't lie about anything. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He'll tell you yes, no, or like it is. So that's a good thing. And that's really all I got to say, guys. So this is a short video. It was kind of a boring day from what it looked like today. A lot of guys were not even playing today. A lot of starters were out today, so they gave some other guys chances. But that is about it, guys. So that's all I got to say today. I'll be back with more news tomorrow. I'll come out with another video on some of the plans I have for the game. Do a little live stream. Connect with you guys a little bit more. And that's about it. So shake it up. Fly will fly.